talking to me.
Let me ask you a question.
You didn't answer my question, but okay.
Do you like awesome things that are awesome?
Sure.
Then you gotta play this game, dude. It's friggin' cool.
Okay. What's it called?
And crazy addictive, like popping bubble wrap addictive.
Hey man, that crap ain't funny. I had to go to rehab for that.
There's a short dash, a long dash, jump dash, spiral, slide. There's probably a dash that makes you breakfast. I don't know.
What would I need breakfast for? I just had lunch. Could you please just tell me the name of the game?
Stuff that'll make you faster and stronger and make the bad guys cry like an anime fan on prom night.
Alright, you. Bringing up bubble wrap addiction is one thing, but talking about my personal life is just going too far!
No one's talking to you, Vernon!
Who the heck is Vernon?
Wait, what?
Just tell me the name of the game!
Mighty Number 9.
Finally! That's all I wanted to... Wait a minute. Oh, so it's a spiritual successor to Mega Man from one of the people that created it. Great! I'm sure that this will be a good game and everybody will love it. Oh no! Oh no! Hey everyone, Johnny Boy here. In case it wasn't already obvious, we're going to be talking about Mighty Number 9 today. Or more specifically, trying to figure out why people don't seem to like it. In 1987, Capcom gathered a small team together to make one of the greatest platforming shooters of all time, that being Mega Man. In Mega Man, you traverse through cool stages and interesting levels by jumping and shooting down enemies. And on the rare occasions, having to jump on these freaking terrible disappearing and reappearing blocks! Come on! You do this all to defeat the boss of the stage and obtain his weapon. Once you defeat all 6 robot masters, you take on Dr. Wily, an evil scientist bent on taking over the world. Mega Man was a fun and simple concept, but was also very challenging at times. And with each new title to the series, they added cool new features, such as sliding and having your own dog who could also do some cool things like becoming a springboard. But then things got a little weird around the time Mega Man 8 came out when they added the soccer ball to Mega Man's weapon arsenal. And to my understanding, the last time Capcom tried to have Mega Man play a little football, things didn't end up working so well for them.
Ya lo hace, pierna derecha, directo al arco, golazo, golazo, golazo.
Not to mention that creepy clown robot who tries to diddle your nuts when you fight him. The last good Mega Man game came out around 2010, and then nothing. For a very long time, Capcom didn't even seem interested in adding another title to one of their most popular platforming shooting series. And even when they did announce that they were going to make another Mega Man game, it was cancelled not even a year after the announcement. As you can imagine, this left fans disappointed and wondering if they would ever get to enjoy another good old-fashioned Mega Man game ever again. Well, thankfully that question was answered in 2013 when Keiji Inafune? Yeah. Had announced a Kickstarter for Mighty Number 9, a new game that was supposed to be the spiritual successor to the Mega Man series. Fans were so ready for the game that the $900,000 goal was met in only 2 days, and even eventually reached as high as $4 million. But, unfortunately, due to some mismanagement and problems with development, the game originally announced for April 2015 came out in June of 2016 instead. So far, things are looking pretty promising. But, you know what they say, you can't judge a game by its cartridge, so I guess we might as well see what all the fuss is about.
It's a long shot, but it's our only hope. The fate of the entire country hangs in the balance.
Okay, seriously, what's with this animation? Keep in mind I'm not talking about the art style. Although it's not the prettiest, it's still, fine? I'm talking about the fact that they're talking and their frickin' mouths aren't moving! It's 2016! You would think a game with a $4 million budget would take the time to animate their mouths up and down to simulate basic conversation. I mean, seriously, it doesn't even look like they're talking in general, it just looks like they're making strange and bizarre noises.
Call, please transfer Beck's assimilated cell data. Oh, blast! I see no pattern whatsoever. You must admit, there are...
In this game, you're playing as Beck, the latest of the robots called the Mighty Numbers, who was created by Dr. White, a scientist with a questionable past and an even more questionable hairstyle. in the year 2016, or if you're playing in 2017, then it's 2017. What, you think I'm kidding? They literally don't even give you a date and just say that it's the present year. I mean, don't get me wrong, 20XX wasn't exactly informative either, but at least it gives me something to work with. Humanity loved the BattleBots TV show so much that they decided to make a coliseum dedicated to it, where people from all regions of the world would compete to see whose robot was the best at beating the other robots within an inch of their life. But unfortunately, something went wrong and all the peaceful robots in the area malfunctioned and suddenly became violent. And all the violent robots in the Coliseum became, violenter, I guess? I don't know. So it's up to you to find out what's causing all the robots to malfunction and put a stop to it. And how do you do it? By shooting the hell out of them and then tackling them while dashing, of course. And while in theory this sounds fun, in actuality, yeah, okay, it's still pretty fun. However, there are some minor problems with this method. Such as, this is the best and easiest way to kill enemies without using special weapons. And if you wanted to kill enemies without dashing into them, you would have to shoot them until they glow, which indicates they can be killed with a dash, and then shoot them some more until they explode, which is usually the same amount of bullets that it took you to get them to the glowing stage. So basically, the only way to kill enemies without dashes is to kill them twice with normal shots. And for those of you wondering why you wouldn't want to kill them without dashes in the first place, the answer is simple. Dashing gets you killed very easily. Bex dashes do no damage, which means that if you dash into an enemy, not only will you hurt yourself, but Beck also flies back in recoil, which in turn gets you killed in one of these many ways. It can get you killed by falling onto the road trying to kill enemies. It can get you killed by falling into spikes because you misjudged an enemy's health. It can get you killed if you dash under a box. It can get you killed just by trying to kill an enemy that still had a decent amount of health, and, well, it can get you killed just because you went a little dash crazy and killed yourself on one of the many stage hazards. Dashing would be very annoying if it wasn't for the fact that not only do you get certain buffs temporarily depending on what enemy you kill, but if you kill an enemy with a dash and you have a special weapon equipped, it will restore some of your weapon usage. Well, I think I can see some of the bad points that people are talking about, but other than that, the controls are tight and the combat's enjoyable. Honestly, this seems like a pretty good game so far. What? Use the crouch to dash. Okay. Okay, I'm pressing down. Nothing's happening. Maybe they meant press down while dashing. Okay. Think I'm starting to see what people are talking about now. For everyone watching, I would like to educate you on a feature in this game. Dashing, as you know, makes you move forward quickly. Amazing, right? But wait, it gets better. If you dash into a wall with a passageway that is too small for you to walk through, you will squeeze right under there and pop up on the other side. So, naturally, you would think to get through this turbine, all you would have to do is dash at it like every other obstacle. But if you do that, then yeah, that happens. So you have to hold down to do a lower dash, a dash that looks nearly identical to your regular dash. Oh, and you know what the real kicker is in this situation? This is the only place that you need to hold down to dash, and the developers knew this, thus the hint. What? That's so lazy! Like, seriously, why not make the crouch dash the only thing that allows you to go through these tiny areas? And another thing, crouch dashing? Why not add another mechanic to the game, like, some kind of maneuver that allows you to dash with your legs first? What's that called again? And you want to know what the sad part is? This isn't the only stage with annoying problems, although the other stage's problems have little to do with the stage and more to do with where the enemies are placed. Like in the highway level, this annoying frickin' helicopter keeps flying directly over your head and sending missiles at you. So if you don't take care of it and try to get past it, you will almost always fall onto the road, which instantly kills you. Or how about in the ice stage? At the very end of the stage, you need to make a jump that basically requires you to dash to this platform surrounded by spikes, which is guarded by 2 enemies. Not to mention that since this is an ice stage, your dash makes you go farther and it's harder to control. Also, you can't hang on to the ledges because they're slippery, so one wrong move and you're screwed. But even though I just mentioned all those problems, I'm still enjoying the game very much. I even beat all the mighty numbers and have the choice of going to a stage's call, Dr. Sanda's robot. At this point, I don't think I'll have any more problems with the game. I I think I could safely say that this is the worst stage in the game. Call can't kill enemies by dashing into them, which means that every single enemy takes twice as long to kill. Oh, I mean besides the ones you can't kill by shooting. I'm not joking. They literally put enemies in this stage that you cannot kill by shooting. Instead, you have to shoot them to keep them away from you until they blow themselves up. Normally you could just ignore these enemies and keep progressing through the stage, but halfway through the level they trap you in a room where you're forced to fight some enemies. And guess which ones they put in there? The freaking invincible ones. Watch this for a few seconds to tell me how fun it looks. Like, how could they design that and think that that particular part is fun? I've played and beaten the game, and I get that they wanted to change the pace with being able to play a new character, but who in the world thought that playing a character that takes forever to shoot and can't kill enemies fast in a fast-paced game was a good idea? Although, to their credit, I did like the shield mechanic. However, you could get through the entire stage without using it once. Not only that, but it would have been nice if the shield made the bullets reflect and more powerful or something. But sadly, you only really need it for the boss, and that's about it. Speaking of shields, I forgot to mention the most odd conversation in the game, which is also, in fact, on this level. Right around the beginning of the stage, Call picks up her shields and then proceeds to ask Dr. Sonda a question. Let's just watch and see what happens.
Charging complete. Doctor, a question. Why was I equipped with an energy shield?
Well, it's, just, you never know. You know.
What's up with this conversation? Not only was he oddly panicked and nervous over an easy question to answer, but Call's question was just stupid to begin with. Like, why would you even ask if you had something that could keep you safe? Congratulations on graduating basic training, cadet. You're now going to be transported to the war zone, so here's your rifle and helmet. Thanks, sir, but what do I need the gun for? Well, it's just, you never know, you know? That kid's gonna get shot. I could go on and on about this stage, but I think it's about time I address the elephant in the room and tell you guys what I actually think about the game. The stage designs feel kinda generic and boring. Like, literally, one stage is just you walking in circles. Dr. White, who should be one of the characters that we like, just came off as a total douchebag to me. Just listen to some of these comments from him and tell me you don't think the same.
I think you, of all people, would want to see him, right?
On the contrary, I'd be quite content to never see him again for the rest of my life. Structure is clever, concise, it's brilliant. There's no doubt it's my code.
The prison level had a lot of potential, but in the end it felt like they just put the stage in to fill up space and didn't try very hard in making it. Bex dashing, while an interesting concept, is kind of hard to execute properly without hurting or killing yourself. The game has some lag problems, especially when fighting bosses. And you know what? Despite all of this, I still find the game enjoyable. No matter how I feel about Dr. White's personality, the relationship between Glenn Beck and the other Mighty Numbers feels natural, and it's enjoyable to hear their conversations. I especially like that if you beat one of the Mighty Numbers, that same Mighty Number will show up in a different stage to talk to you. Although the one thing I don't like about this is that whatever Mighty Number you see helping you on the stage is the same Mighty Number that the boss of the stage is weak to, which kind of ruins trying new weapons to see what's effective like the other games did. Speaking of listening to conversations, nearly every conversation in the stage is played automatically and you're free to keep moving about the stage while it's going on. Considering how annoying the Mega Man X series after X3 was about interrupting gameplay to tell you something, this is a breath of fresh air and very welcome. The music, while not every single one was completely amazing, was pretty decent and even had a few really good ones. Once you know what you are doing and how to dash properly, flying through the stages and beating them very quickly is fun. Nearly every ability Beck gets in the game is useful in some way, especially the sword, which is my favorite. And while the game does lag occasionally, the boss fights all felt fun and challenging, and other than Pyro's stupid insta-kill move, they were all pretty fair. Overall, this game is decent, and I think I understand why a lot of people seem to hate this game. They hate it because it wasn't what they were promised. When we first heard about Mighty Number 9, we were led to believe that it was going to be as good, if not better, than Mega Man. And when the game was actually released, all the expectations of the fans were completely crushed because while the game wasn't terrible, it wasn't nearly everything that we were promised it would be. And I think that if this game was made by someone that had nothing to do with Mega Man previously, that the game might not have gotten as much hate as it did. Do I think the hate is deserved? To a certain extent, yes, but not as much as it's been getting. Do I think the game's terrible? No, of course not. However, with how much money and time they had, the end product should have been much more impressive than what they came out with. And with the way they hinted at a sequel, I can only hope that they spend more time focusing on the game's design. So overall, not too bad. And if they actually do make a sequel despite all the hate they got for the game, I'll definitely give it a try. I know that those of you who despise the game will probably be disappointed in me for liking it, but you have to remember, it's better than nothing.
Initializing power down sequence. Until next time.
See you later. Hey, did you like the video? If you like what I do and want to see more of me, like and subscribe. And if you have a game or a video you want me to review, or if you want to just chat, then leave me a message in the comments below. And unless something happens, I usually upload a video or two every week. Starting now. I promise, for real. So I guess I'll see you then.